All right, good day to you. My name is Fred Oakman, and as always with me today is Mr. Jake Peters. We are PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast, and this is episode 272. And this is a show where we share our feelings about the current state of PlayStation. But before we get on with the show, I want to invite you all to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome. And if you want to make fun of a trophyless on the PlayStation Network, you can find me at anchorless_81 and Mr. Jake Peters at jakesaw01. And as always, you can write us at psthisisawesome@gmail.com. And most importantly, don't forget to share our show with your friends. Make sure you leave comments, rate the podcast as you see fit. If you guys watch on YouTube, hop on over and find your favorite podcast platform and just give us a little like, a little blurb. Hey, these guys are awesome. Give us something like that to help us out. And as a reminder, we do have the YouTube podcast. We do this as a video podcast as well. I think back in the day, they might have called these vlogs. I'm not sure if that would be appropriate for this, but this is a weekly YouTube podcast as well. So, and if you're new or if you've been around for a while, you might already know, but if you don't know, we have a Patreon. You can support our show for $1 a month. It is the one and only $1 club. You can join it, and you can do so by going to patreon.com/PS This Is Awesome, and you can become a $1 patron, and in return, we will mail you one of these fancy PS This Is Awesome vinyl die cut stickers, and we will give you a shout out on our podcast. And most times, not all times, but most times you will get the episode a day or two early. This episode airs for everybody else Monday at the break of the day, so 12 a.m. Monday. So that is how it works. Otherwise, you can get it earlier. So with that out of the way, Jake, how are you today?
Fine. The weather is changing dramatically here. Seems like more so than usual this year, which is kind of weird. But it was really hot and sunny here all weekend, and then starting tonight, so it was like 80 degrees today. Then tomorrow it's supposed to be 50. Tuesday it's supposed to be 45.
Yep.
Wednesday it's supposed to be 75.
Yeah.
So, and then next weekend it's supposed to be 50 again.
And a chance of snow, a 30% chance of snow this week coming up.
Yeah, but it's going to be, if it snows, it's going to be like, oh, you can see it in the air, but it's not going to touch the ground.
Yeah, so does it really count? Yeah. In California, it would.
Yeah. But it's just killing me. I don't know if it's the weather or not, but I've been fighting this sinus thing for like 3 weeks. And yeah, I might have to get it looked at. But other than that, I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's just there's just not enough time in a weekend, you know. And when I say it would be great to go to a 4-day work week, I don't mean that I don't want to work 5 days a week. I just mean like I want another day where I don't have to go to work so that I can, can we make the week 8 days long and make up a new day for the weekend? You know, that would be an innovative way of keeping a 5-day work week, and then giving people a little extra time to do the things that they need to do over the weekend. Yeah, I don't know. I got a lot of gaming in this weekend. You and we had a concert last night up in Erie. That was such a nice time, really. That was a good time. I'm not sure how we sounded. Did you see any video at all from our performance? Because I didn't see any.
No, based on the other bands, I'm sure it sounded good. It sounded weird on stage just because we didn't have really a lot of time to get all of the monitors sorted out.
Yeah, the sound check, yeah.
Like literally the only thing in my monitor was Sarah. There was no me, no you, no vocals, no Troy, no drums, no nothing.
Yeah, it was a bad mix on stage.
I could hear you, but I think I didn't realize until 3/4 of the way through the set why you were so quiet is because I was hearing you out of your monitor, not mine.
Yeah.
And otherwise I would have said something because the guy that runs it is super good. He would have fixed it.
Yeah.
But it was just, we were kind of rushed. But overall, I think it went pretty well.
I just wonder how. Yeah, I had a hard time even hearing myself. And when Sarah and I had to harmonize, I couldn't hear her voice at all. And I was like, I don't know if I need to shift a little bit higher or lower to get the harmony right. So I was just going on muscle memory. And then the fact that I couldn't tell where my voice was because I had so much of Troy coming at me because he's stage right. I had so much of Troy just blasting on me and Nate right behind me. I couldn't really hear my voice. And I'm sure you could because you probably just got my acoustic and my voice from my monitor coming out to you. But I had all of you, all of Troy, and none of Sarah, which is hilarious, and all of Nate. Dude, it was a really weird mix. And we should be better about speaking up about that stuff. But I had a fun time, man. I had a nice time. And, it's one of those things where I love the dudes in This American Song. They're great dudes. They're really creative, and they're really good at what they do. What they do isn't necessarily my wheelhouse, though, right? So, we don't usually play shows with those guys, and we don't usually play shows. Like, the bands before us were really, really talented and really good as well. All kind of the same genre, but all very much different. It was a fun show, though, because it wasn't at a bar. And it was an actual venue, the Performing Arts Center in Erie. It's PACA is what it stands for. And it was a really good time, man. And I just wish that I knew what it sounded like out there, because anyone who plays music knows that how things sound on stage tells you nothing of how things sound to the audience. And we didn't dial in our stage sound super well. So part of me is left is the reason that no one recorded video of us performing that it didn't sound great? And I saw a lot of posts were like, oh man, they're bringing the energy. And Fred Oakman and the Flood, but it's just pictures. And I'm like, did it sound bad? I know the people right up front were plugging their ears. I think that was more so Troy's distorted guitar, right in their face. But,
well, I mean, some of the other bands were other than the first band, pretty much everybody was loud.
Yeah, it was a little
that
loud.
Room.
It was good.
I mean, I don't really have a problem with that, but I can understand some people might not enjoy it.
Yeah, but it was our friends This American Songs double release show. They released a cassette tape, and then I don't know why people do that. I think it's awesome, but I don't think we would be able to sell a single cassette tape if we released our stuff on cassette. I don't even think. I mean, it's kind of cool to do, and it's probably pretty affordable. And then they released, I think, a record as well. So I stuck around to catch their whole set. I know you guys dipped out a little early. I didn't get back until 1:20 in the morning. And then Nate caught a ride home with Troy because Troy left early. Nate was going to come home with me. We were originally going to play second. At least we thought we were playing second. And then it turned out we were playing second to last. And, Nate showed up with Alexander and the kid. And then they left because the kid couldn't sit still. And then, Nate was looking for a ride home. And he put all of his shit in my car, which wasn't a lot because he borrowed a lot of drum stuff. And then he was just like, yeah, dude, I'm catching a ride with Troy. Are you cool with that? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I have all your shit in my car. And I got home at 1:30 and my garage is full of contracting stuff for the bathroom. So I had to walk around the house and take everything down to the studio, which was annoying. But I love Nate, so there's no bad blood there. I just thought that's just how the cookie crumbled that night. So I was really tired. I slept in this morning. It was one of those sleeps where you wake up and I don't know if you have these. I have circulation issues and some circulatory issues, my heart issues, runs in my family. But I woke up and I couldn't feel my pointer finger on my right hand at all. It was it didn't exist. Just that finger. So maybe I slept on it bent backwards or something, but all of my other digits were just fine. So I don't know how something like that happens. And then all I had to do when I realized I couldn't feel it was just hang my arm over, because we're sleeping on couches right now because there's no power upstairs because we have all the power killed. Everything's on the same breaker. So we've been sleeping on separate couches for the last week and a half till this bathroom's done so we can put the power on. So I just hung my hand over the edge of the couch and a minute later I could feel my hand just fine. I'm like, yeah, maybe it was just weird. I don't know what happened.
Why can't you sleep with the power out?
Oh, I gotta have something on when I sleep. I gotta have something. I can't. I'm like one of those people. I can't sleep in complete silence because then I just can't do it. I get freaked out. I get scared of things. My mind starts thinking about the worst possible things, and I get freaked out. Not of the dark, but of like where I just start thinking when it's complete darkness. I need distractions in my while I'm trying to sleep. Like I need the TV on.
I could fucking sleep in a sensory deprivation tank. Dude, I fucking love it.
Fuck that.
Zero light, zero sound. That's what I want.
No, I need it. And anyways, so that's been my life. I just got back. So you got a hold of me and you're like, hey, can you record? Or you're back. You were back. You're ready to record. We're recording this on Sunday, which is we record usually on Saturday and post it for the Patreons, the patrons of the show. Sorry, so they can have it late Saturday night, all day Sunday, and then it goes live on Monday. We're recording this Sunday, mainly because Saturday night we had that gig, and then you got a hold of me earlier, and I was like, dude, I just got roped into shit. I didn't get roped into things. I got carried away playing a game. I'll talk about that later this morning, and then I forgot I had to go pick up a couple more pieces of cement board from Home Depot, so when they show up tomorrow they're ready to go. And we had a tile order that I went and picked up, and I'll tell you, this is when you texted me, I was like not in the best frame of mind, because I'm at Home Depot and we ordered these tile inserts for we're getting the whole bathtub, like the shower area tile, right? They have these corner pieces that you just bake right into the tile. So like as you're tiling your tub, you put these corner pieces in and you set like soap and stuff on or whatever. We wanted to have a couple of those. So we ordered all of this tile, dude. It was like, I don't know, close to like $3,000 worth of tile. So we're doing tons of tile. Floor, and then all the surround of the tub, the whole tub, and then the entire room. We're bringing tile up like that old look. So here's the issue is those pieces were like, I don't know, maybe $18 a piece. We bought 3 of them, so I don't know what the math is, but anyways, the total eventually was like 50 some bucks. All the tile shows up but those pieces. And like as you're tiling the tub, you got to hit those in sequence. You got to have them. And they were supposed to be at the store on the 11th. And they weren't, so we gave it a few days. And we're just checking and it didn't update. And so when I went in to pick up all the other tile today, I was like, hey, where's this order at? And she's looking at it and she goes, oh yeah, that is really weird. It was supposed to be here a while ago. I said, yeah, it's not. And she goes, no, I'll look. She goes, yeah, we don't have it. There's no indication it's ever been delivered. And I'm like, well, the contractors are here this week. So we were supposed to have it the middle of last week, if not earlier. And I was like, can you call the vendor and see if they can overnight us a new shipment, because we need it. And we've already paid for it. And it was supposed to be here by a certain time. And she goes, yeah, I'll call them real quick. So she calls them. And then she goes, as soon as they can get it to you guys is the 26th, which is fucking not going to work. And I'm like, they can't overnight it. And she goes, well, in order for that to happen, you'd have to cancel this order. And then we'll give you the refund when it shows up, because we can't technically refund you unless we get the product because it came from someone else. And I said, no, that's not going to work. She goes, you're going to have to reorder it with overnight shipping to get it tomorrow. Otherwise, they can't do it. And I'm like, okay, that's no problem. I said, just put it through. And she goes, well, hold on, let me talk to them. And then she's like, okay, we can refund you the $50 some for these 3 pieces, even if we don't have it. And if it comes in, we'll let you know. We got your number. But we're essentially reporting this as lost. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then she gets she puts Lena on hold again. Then she's talking to the vendor. She goes, well, here's the deal. When you guys reorder it and you pick overnight shipping, it's going to cost you $143 to ship it overnight. And I go, not going to pay that. You guys were supposed to have it by last week. And she goes, well, they're not going to pay it because they're saying it's not their fault that it's missing. And they did their. I said, okay, well, just tell them to fuck off. And I was like, I didn't say that, but I was like, just tell them don't worry about it. Worst case scenario, we don't get those little pieces on the corners of our showers because it's just fucking ridiculous. So we might just tile it up. So that was my situation. You're like, dude, I'm home. And I'm like, I'm roped in all kinds of fucking shit right now. I'm so annoyed. It's very annoying because we gave them so much business that they couldn't pay for the shipping on that. Really agitating. It's just like what happened to customer appreciation or making right the wrong? And they're more at fault than we are. I guess they're not. Technically, they're not. No one's at fault, but they're a big company, and we just gave them a ton of money. Like, they can pay for overnight shipping. They could. They could have met us halfway, but the lady was just like very, very steadfast. Nope, we can't. We're not going to do it. We're not going to pay for that shipping. Okay, then we don't want your stuff. We'll go elsewhere. So I'm going to start looking around, and we're going to see if we can find these pieces that are going to match, that we can pump in there. But that's my story for today. And then I had to go to Giant Eagle real quick, and then I'm still showering at my folks' place because we have no shower yet. So I got to do that still after the podcast tonight, because I'm not going to go over there and wake my parents up at like 5:30 in the morning and get showers at their house. So I got to do them. I got to do my showers at night. It's driving me crazy. I can't stand showering at night as opposed to showering in the morning. I'd rather shower every morning and every night. I'm done. Rant over. What do you think about all that? Anything? And then we'll get on to games.
I mean, that's kind of what you get for dealing with a big box store.
Yeah.
But it does suck that they don't. Honestly, I think it has more to do with probably who you were talking to than the fact that it was Home Depot, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because like I have had experiences with places like that where it's like the person, I don't know if it's just like how they're trained or there's no consequences for them to just say no. And fuck it, it's $100, who cares, they can go buy something somewhere else. And if it wasn't for the fact that you guys had the contractors there, I would have been fine, and I would have returned all $3,000 worth of fucking tile. I would have returned like literally everything and been like, okay, well, this just cost you guys all this money. Yeah. But I get what kind of a pickle you're in, and
it's just
frustrating. They might too. That's it. Yeah, either that or I would have just been fine, paid it, and then just told them that I'll never shop here again, and I'm telling everybody I know about this experience. So, yeah. But, I mean, you could always check, like, there are other places, like Lowe's, and there's some other places around, but it just sucks that we're kind of forced to shop at these stores now. Yeah, we are. Like, it's weird. There's really no other option anymore. Like, sometimes you can get a town that'll have some... like if you went to Erie, you could find some like tile places that aren't big box stores,
like a mom and pop place.
Yeah, but they're kind of harder to find, and then a lot of times they deal exclusively with contractors and stuff, so it can be a challenge of its own. But that said, I mean, probably what you would have been better off doing is just having the contractor build those cubbies into your wall.
Well, we did have
them buying.
Yeah, we do have that. So we did have build in a cubby, and it's going to be nice. But I think you can never have too many places to put shit in a shower. You know
whatever you think you have, whatever you think you need, you always need more.
Always.
I mean, we put in, our shower has 2 12 by 12 cubbies, and there's still not enough room in our shower for all my shit and all her shit. And so, anyway,
it is what it is. Let's get on to some games, man. What games are we playing? We do this every show. Jake and I talk about the games that we're currently ripping through. They're not always current games. Sometimes they're games from our back catalog. Sometimes they are new. Sometimes we're not playing anything. I'll tell you what I'm playing, though. I posted a video of me beating Frike from Returnal on our YouTube channel. And, man, this game is awesome. It's really good. It handles really well. It's so responsive. It's exactly what you'd expect from Housemarque. And man, for as awesome as it is, and for as interesting and rewarding as it feels, it can be equally annoying for me. Like, I love everything about this game, except when I walk into a room and I'm like, I got this, and then somehow I end up like being swarmed by like bat creatures or whatever, and I'm like, there's no way I can get out of this. Like, I'm gonna die, and I just spent 25 minutes clearing this entire world area to like get all the cool shit, and now I'm getting swarmed. And I'm like, fuck. Because I do value my time, and I get that you can pick up the resin or whatever that can unlock the thing that you haven't found yet, you know, when you respawn. But man, there is something to be said about how smooth this game is and how good it feels to play. Man, so many games get it wrong, and it's so nice that they got all this right. I'm just not 100% sold on the loop. You know what I mean? I would have loved this to have been some sort of third-person action story. It would have been so fucking cool. And I'm sure there's a story baked in here. I beat Frike. I did get through the end of the second world, and I got to that boss, and I've only faced off against them one time. So my initial impressions of Returnal is that it's a fantastic game. It's a must-play for anyone who's interested. Jake, you went through it and beat it. I know I was throwing questions at you about the game here and there, and my intention is to come back to it, and I say to come back to it because I didn't think I was going to get pulled away from it because it's so good. I was really enjoying it, and I like that, you know, you can just get a playthrough of Returnal in like a half hour, if you know, half hour, maybe less if you die quicker, maybe longer if you're doing really well, but like you're not beholden to the game very long on a playthrough of Returnal. But I powered up Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I can't stop thinking about it. Like, it's the game. Like, it's so good. It's like, and I know I was a little in denial. You know, when this game came out, everybody's like, oh, it's fucking great. It's so good. It's awesome. And I'm like, I don't know. I played the demo, and it didn't do a lot for me. Like, I was like, yeah, this is fine. But once you sit with this game and you understand how the combat works, it's genius. It's really great. The story, the level details, and it's open enough, but like, it's not, they don't force a ton of shit on you in this game. It just feels good. Like, the pacing seems perfect so far. I'm in chapter 8. So you said there's 18 chapters. I'm almost halfway through it already. I'm like, I can't put it down. Like, I'm just playing this game, and I love it. So I don't think I'm coming back to Returnal until I beat this game, because it's a story game, and I'm just completely invested in Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I think I have Intergrade as well, and I'll probably do those extra missions and stuff too, man. This game is so good. If any of you guys listening have not played this and it's on your back catalog, just do it. Do yourself a favor and play it. Now's the time. It's so good. So good. And the Final Fantasy VII Part 2, we're going to start seeing some stuff about that, I think, down the road here. As soon as they get 16 out the door, I think we're going to start, I think they're just going to keep pushing this shit. I don't know if we're going to see the game in 2023. I can't remember if they said we were or not, but I think 2024 probably.
Probably, yeah. I have a hard time believing they'll release both of them this year.
I'd say holiday of 24.
Release it next year.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will be that late, because I think Final Fantasy VII Remake came out in like January or February. So yeah, they might try to hold the same kind of cadence, like first half sort of thing. It took me, if I remember correctly, 50 hours to beat Final Fantasy VII Remake.
50?
So, yeah.
Does it start slowing down? Like,
I don't know.
There's no way I even have half that amount in. I probably have like 9 hours in it. I'm on chapter 8.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But it took me a long time to beat it. So I'll be curious to see how long it takes you. I mean, I can go back and look at my save, but I'm pretty sure it was.
Were you
right
under
around,
leveled?
like,
Is that what happened? You had to go like do some stuff?
no. No, I actually was totally fine until the final boss battle.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure my time clock was like 40 or 50 hours for that game.
I just defeated the Airbuster. What is that thing? Mako 5 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
What's it called? The something buster. Airbuster, I think.
I know what you're talking about. Have you gotten Aerith yet?
No.
So you're right at that point.
Okay.
So you finished that fight?
I just finished
Where
that.
you like fall through the church?
I'm at the church right now. The beginning of the
Okay.
church scene. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's still a lot in that game.
Wow. Because that's chapter 8. And you said there's 18 chapters.
I didn't say anything. I don't know where you got 18 chapters from.
I looked it up.
So-
I think it has 18 chapters.
I mean, there might be. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't know how many chapters are in the game. I don't remember. So it wasn't me that told you that.
Yeah, he's waving all, absolving himself from this. How many chapters is Final Fantasy VII Remake? I gotta look this up.
Okay, so it says howlongtobeat.com says Final Fantasy VII Remake. It says main story 33 hours, main plus sides.
There's not a ton of
41
side
and a
missions
half.
though. So far,
You haven't gotten there. It opens up a little bit once you get to like, what the fuck is that town called?
I don't know. It doesn't.
It does open up and there are side missions and things like that. So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
It's great.
like I said, this says main plus sides 41 and a half.
Okay.
So that kind of makes sense because I didn't do all the side missions, but I did do quite a few of
Well,
them.
going
so.
by that, then I'm probably around a quarter of the way through the game then already in a day, which is awesome.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you like it because it's really good.
Yeah, it's
And
so good.
I really want to play Intergrade, but I don't know if I want to do it now or if I want to do it. I mean, I guess maybe if you're playing it, maybe I should just do it now so we could talk about it. But I was thinking about waiting until a little bit closer to the next game, but
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why. I guess I couldn't do it now.
Well, you think about it. What are you playing,
Yeah.
Jake?
I haven't played hard. I've maybe since last podcast maybe played 3 hours, and that was all in Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah.
So I'm getting to the point where I just kind of want to be done with this game. I do like what's going on. The problem is that I have this problem with these types of games where I get stuck in the like, you know, games where they're like open world and there's like a map and there are like these outposts where if you get one it opens more of the map and you get one and it opens more of the map and you get one and it opens more of the map, and I'm like, if those are on the screen, I have to clear all of them before I do anything else.
Yeah, you got an obligation.
Like I have to get the map completely opened up before I move on to the next story mission. So
It's like an OCD thing, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even do all the side missions, but for whatever reason, that like particular mechanic in games where it's like a like outpost or something opens the map more. Like this is a big thing in like Dying Light and Far Cry and stuff. It's like if there are some of those on the screen, I do them first to open everything up. Once all those are gone, then I start working on main missions and stuff. And yesterday I just started jumping back into main missions after spending like 2 days clearing these fucking outposts. And I don't know. I like I said last week, it's one of those things where I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish it. I still don't know if I'm gonna finish it. I might just bump the difficulty down to like the easiest difficulty and just run a train through the rest of the game, just so I can get done with it.
Yeah.
Because I do want to finish it, but I don't really want to like spend a lot of time with it. So, because there are some mechanics about it that, about the combat that are frustrating. Like I'm 15 hours into the game and I just had to spend a bunch of like skill points to unlock a dodge mechanic, which to me is like, that should have just been an ability from the beginning. Like I would have had so much more fun with the combat if from the beginning I could just dodge certain attacks. But I don't know. I digress. I still like it. It's not that I dislike it. I still enjoy a lot of what I'm playing. It's just that I would say this game is like a solid, I don't know. If we're using like a traditional scale, maybe like a solid 8. So it's not, or 7.5. So it's not like bad. It's a good game. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, 8's really good.
But I'm just ready to move on to something else. I've been kind of anxious about. It's funny we were talking about Final Fantasy because I was thinking about starting one of the Pixel remasters. I was thinking about starting Final Fantasy IV because I've never played that one and it's widely considered one of the best, up there with 6 and 7. So I was thinking about starting Final Fantasy IV.
Which one's that one?
Pixel remaster that just came out. What do you mean?
What one is the one that I played that I always get confused about? 5?
I don't know.
What's the War of the Lions? What one's that one?
That's Final Fantasy Tactics. That's not a mainline Final Fantasy game.
All right. Fuck, I hate how they do that. I still don't even know what I've played Final Fantasy wise. There's like, what, they're on fucking 16 coming up? Like, come on, guys. Come on. X2, Final Fantasy Tactics, Reborn, War of the Lions, and it's not War of the Lions, it's Tactics, and it's like, God, just stop. Just name them something. Oh,
well, they're just
Intergrade 7 Remake. Like, come on.
I don't know.
Pixel remasters.
It's very Japanese, but yeah, I don't know. Final Fantasy, I played 6. I really liked it. But I really wanted to, of the 1 through 6 that are being released as part of that set, 4 is the one that I really want to play because I've never played it before.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd be curious to see. So they're saying this. How Long to Beat is saying main plus extras for Intergrade is like 5 to 7 hours. So maybe I might just do that real quick.
Just do it.
The problem is I gotta fucking remember how to play that game. But I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I don't know. That's really all I have as far as games that I'm playing. Yeah. So we can probably move on. Yeah. I don't really got much to say.
Yeah, we'll move on to listener feedback. And every show you can write in and you can leave comments on our YouTube channel. You can send us the old email to psisawesome@gmail.com. If you're a patron, you can write us on Patreon and leave a little blurb on the post that we put up there. Or just write us. You can do it that way too. And Played by Ken writes, and he says, it's a comment. We were talking about VR and what Sony could do in our last episode to kind of bolster VR. You know, what can they do? What needs to be done here? And Play by Ken comments, he says, it's really hard to see much of a future for VR outside of niche interests groups such as racing, flight sims, if even the PSVR 2 is struggling with user uptake or ongoing interest. Personally, it's just too much messing around to play a game, and if I want to race/fly in VR, it would be on a PC. And then he says, yet to see a must-buy next-gen game to convince me to buy a PS5 in the first place, let alone something to make me throw down another $500 on top for VR. Maybe I've just fallen out with modern gaming. Emoji. And I told him kind of my thoughts as well. Like, we haven't had... For VR, like, I love it. But if I'm being honest, I don't put the headset on as much as I wished I would have. It's been just sitting there, and they've made it easier to fucking use. Like, what's holding me back here? What is it? Is it that I'm just not, am I just not enjoying the content that's being released? I think Moss is great. I have one level of Moss Book 2. Sorry, I gotta beat that. And then the kayak thing was really awesome. I've only played it twice though. It was awesome. Only played it twice. And I'm sure Pistol Whip's great, and I'm sure Saints and Sinners is fantastic, and I'm sure the Star Wars game is good enough. And Thumper on the new VR2 is probably amazing. And it's just like, why do I not gravitate to these titles? Like, what is it? I think I just want like a full-on experience. Resident Evil Village was just too damn scary for me. I didn't think that was going to happen, but it happened. And maybe I should jump back in, honestly. I do need to do that, but it was really, really scary. I did 7, no problem. But 8, there's just something about that one. And it might be just the more immersiveness. We've talked about that already. But as far as actual next-gen games on PS5, have we gotten any that are exclusive to the PS5, Sony IPs, that are going to be a system seller? Ragnarok was 4 and 5, was it not? Horizon was 4 and 5.
Yeah.
PS4 and
I mean,
PS5.
there hasn't been any major releases that are PS5 only. I mean, the closest thing... I mean, Returnal was. Ratchet and Clank was?
Yeah, I think Ratchet and Clank was. A Rift Apart. Yeah. I think that game was great. Not talked about enough. It was a great game.
The DLC for Horizon is going to be PS5 only.
Yeah.
So there is that, but that's not a full game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know really if there's been anything like that. So, I mean, I don't know that it's just necessarily a VR issue so much as that, I don't know. I think people, VR is never going to be this, like, 100 million console seller. It's just not. Like, not until it is literally like jacking in and you're fucking there.
Yeah.
It's so easy that you don't have to like get a fucking chair and put it in the middle of your room and put a fucking headset on and move your coffee table
They just
and all
need
this crap. Like,
they don't need. I think when VR no longer has controllers is when it will be there.
that would certainly help.
I don't think it's ever going to sell a console, but I think what is the issue with VR2 right now? Because it sounds like, Jake, you haven't really played much on yours either. And it's just like, what is the thing? We both love video games. We both enjoyed our experiences with VR2 so far, but why are we not using it as much?
My problem right now is time. It's not because I don't want to play it. I haven't had time even to sit on the couch and play a video game for 20 minutes, let alone, fish out my VR headset and move my furniture around and stuff. So if I had more time, I would probably play my VR more. I just haven't been able to. So
I think you're touching on it right there. I think that's what it is for me too. It's energy and time, because it takes a little bit more out of you to play it. Not because of the setting up factor. It's just way more immersive. It's more of an experience. And if you work all day and you come home, and then by the time you eat dinner and you've done the shit around the house that you needed to do that maybe got neglected or that you were planning on doing, and then by the time you fucking sit down, it's 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then it's like, do you want to immerse yourself in this world for the rest of your day? I mean, if you're me, you're like ready to go to sleep by like 9:30, and it's like, I don't know. And then the weekends, I'm always gigging and we got this stuff going on. Yeah, I think it's time, dude. I think time is the correct answer. I give you credit for that. I think that's what it is. I don't think it's anything wrong with the unit or the content maybe at this point. I just think that it's having the expendable time to enjoy it the way it's meant to be enjoyed.
it's also possible that like the first VR was the first of its kind. So the wow factor was there. Yeah. Now it's like that's not really a thing anymore. This is like people have played the Quest, they've played the PSVR 1. You know, so they're not selling units with wow factor really anymore. And I think that's something that was a little bit underestimated in terms of the expectations of the sales of the new console. So I don't know. I think it's probably going to be okay. I think they just need to start getting more games out and really just give people a reason to put the headset on. Well, honestly, if I could just sit on my couch and put this headset on, and that would make a big difference. But you can't. You either have to be like standing in the middle of a room, or you have to set up a chair with nothing around you because the barrier gets in the way and all this stuff. So there is still like an active. I understand that VR is inherently active, but you can't play VR passively, which I think is a big problem. If they can find a way to solve that riddle, at least in some capacity. Obviously, certain games aren't going to work that way, but if you can find games or make experiences where you could just kind of be chill,
Thumper
but like
did.
be in VR. Yeah, I mean, that's a great example. But like, if you remember on PSVR 1, it was like, okay, I just want to sit here and I want to play Thumper. But no, I can't just sit on my couch. I got to fucking set everything up. I got to be in view of the PlayStation camera. I got to like do all these things. And it's like, that's not really conducive to, you know, I have to really want to play in order to do all of that.
Right. And most times you're probably too tired to have that want because you've been fucking busy all day and you just want to sit and do nothing. Like when I have,
it's not even,
that's me, dude. I just want to sit and do nothing. When I'm done with all the shit I got to do for the day, you know, I've maybe booked something or I've done this or I've done something around the house or I've worked all day and then I've ran my errands and I've, you know, I just want to fucking put my feet up, dude. And it's so much easier to put my feet up, just hold a controller and look at a screen. And it's less engaging. And then like turning it off, as soon as I turn it off, I can just go to YouTube or I can go to like Netflix. Like with the VR headset, it's like, now I gotta take it off my head. I gotta put it away. I gotta make sure the coil doesn't like get wrapped wrong. Gotta make sure the controllers are charged for next time. And it's like, yeah, there is a little bit more of that too. I don't know, man. Well, Play by Ken responded to my response. And he says, man, as far as like system sellers, he says Returnal does look really fantastic, but he struggles to stay engaged with roguelike games. And I'm kind of with you, obviously, because now I'm like gravitating towards Final Fantasy VII Remake. And then he also goes on to say that it's going to take something like a Final Fantasy XVI or a Grand Theft Auto 6 to put me into the PS5 generation. None of these cross-generation games have tempted me enough yet. And then he writes, but yeah, when I think through VR and look at what's available, I'm just not sold. It's amazing technology, but I just can't see myself being interested enough to find a place to store it in my living room and then pull it all out and put it on each and every time for any of these games. That could just be me getting older and more fussy about what I put effort into. And I don't think that he's too far off on maybe, you know, and I think the problem is a lot of the people who can afford the cost are typically older gamers. I don't mean to paint with a broad brush, but I mean like people who are maybe a little more financially stable, who maybe have, you know, 9-to-5s or a consistent job, or you have some sort of steady income and you've budgeted and stuff. Those are the folks that are going to be able to pull the trigger sooner, I would imagine, unless you're getting the VR headset as a gift or something. And yeah, and it's those very people, that demographic, like you and I, Jake, that get tired a little earlier or like have other responsibilities. You know what I mean? So maybe that's baking into this mix, man. I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about for sure. But we can move on to the next comment, or you can say anything you'd like to say after that. It's up to you.
The only thing that I will just kind of touch on that I think people who don't have a PS5, I don't want to say they don't think about this, and this might be me overestimating the worth of such things. But for me, the PlayStation 5 I don't give a shit if every single game is exactly the same. The problem is that the PS5 just plays all of these games so much better than the PS4.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, if you've gotten, so just to throw this out there, if you've literally every single game on PS5 with few exceptions runs at 60 frames. And if you've gotten used to playing that way, booting up a game on your PS4 in 30 frames literally feels like you're having a stroke. It's so
literally.
I'm not even, dude, I'm not kidding. Like it like fucking hurts your eyes. Like, have you, I mean, I know you do dumb shit like play Horizon and Fidelity.
I just
mode
played
and all
Life
that
is
crap,
Strange
but,
in
like,
30. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess that game is a little bit easier to deal with because it's more cinematic and it's not like an action game.
Right.
But like if you're, running around like playing an action game or whatever, and I don't know, bit of a digression, but it's something to think about if you care about performance at all and, you're interested in the higher frame rates and the higher fidelity and everything. I mean, that alone is worth the upgrade for some people, even if it may not have games that are exclusive.
Yeah,
that you
just
can't
the responsiveness of the PS5 as compared to the PS4. The way the store loads so fast, like it's all.
Yeah,
it's like
even the system menu, like picking your games and stuff. It all is so much faster,
and it must
it's so much more high definition.
Yeah, and it must do something to your internet connection when you're downloading games. It like sends some sort of message to your modem or something to be like, fucking open it wide up because we need to download this fast. Like I've noticed that like anytime I download a game on my PS5 and I try to use any other internet in my house, everything else goes like, I don't know, so much slower. But the game, like the 25 gig game is downloaded in like half an hour, like 20 minutes or something. And I'm like, okay, well, I can concede to that. So like that this is a pro tip, at least at my house. Like if you are downloading a game, make sure you're not doing a podcast at the same time.
Well, I don't know how your stuff is set up, but like I actually, with my home Wi-Fi, have the ability to prioritize devices.
Yeah.
So like I have my PS5 and like my PC that we do the podcast and stuff on, all that shit is high priority. So if Sarah's trying to watch fucking whatever on her iPad, it's going to have a lower internet priority than
right.
Like
it's
my
not going to
PS5 or
screw up your
stuff. The PC. But I don't know. It's a big digression.
It's a digression.
So, all I'm throwing out there to Played by Ken and other people is that you get more. It's more than just the games that you get with the console. If that's not worth it to you, that's totally fine. There's a ton of people out there that are totally fine with playing their games at 30 hertz.
Oh yeah,
they don't mind the lower fidelity and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't need to be 4K for them. Maybe you don't even have a 4K TV. That's totally fine. I'm just saying that for some people like me specifically, just the performance boost is worth it for me to own this console, let alone, the promise, I guess, of games to come. So, and obviously I have a PSVR 2, so that is beneficial, but
yeah,
we've already talked about
dude,
how much we play.
I get the feeling Played by Ken is a straight up PC guy for the most part, gamer, and that's cool. I'm good with that. Yeah. So hang on, man. Hang on as long as you need to the PS4. I'm sure you're going to make that transition eventually. But One Black Talon writes in about my Returnal video, and he just goes, "Man, upload as many videos as you can for Returnal. I'll watch all of them." Very good. I just told him I didn't have a lot.
Dude, I should have uploaded some. Dude, I put a lot of hours into Returnal. I fucking love that game, and if it wasn't for the fact that I knew there'd be such a learning curve for me to get back into it, I'd probably play it some more. Because you have to like. I'm sorry, but Returnal is definitely one of those get good games. Like you can't you can't fudge your way through it. Like there's no easy mode.
There's no lucky way through.
Yeah. And you kind of have to learn how the game works because it doesn't hold your hand. Like I had to tell you about the astronaut thing because you didn't know anything about that. Right. And I only knew that because I fucking Googled like Returnal strategies. And one of the articles that I came across was like, these are what all the fucking weird ass trinkets are that you find that have no description in them.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, the astronaut figure is an extra life.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, fuck, if I'd known that, I'd be picking all of them up.
Yeah, if you could find them. You can't always get them. But like, yeah, that's the other thing. One Black Talon writes in and he just says that he would listen to YouTubers playing the first biome while he was at work, and then a lot of the YouTubers wouldn't take note of the tutorials, which makes the game way more difficult than it needs to be, and that's a very salient point. And then he said he was glad that you got to help me out a little bit. And then he did advise it might be worth my time to watch a walkthrough of the first biome to make sure I have an understanding of how the play mechanics work. And that's not bad advice. I did get through the first biome independently, but with Jake's help a little bit with the astronaut guy. But yeah, it's one of those things where I almost didn't need the astronaut by the time I got to Frike. But I did. Frike did kill me in its third iteration, and he had like maybe 25% health left. And then I got boondoggled somehow, and then I was like, oh fuck, and then I realized I had the astronaut, and I came back, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a slaying now. I got you, dude. And I tore Frike apart. It felt so good to beat that boss and get the Crimson Key and get into that next biome and see how open it looks and how they're doing the levels. It's so interesting. So yeah, man, I'm glad to be playing Returnal, and I will get back to it after Final Fantasy VII Remake. It sounds like after you get through Elden Ring, One Black Talon, you're going to hop back in there. Maybe we'll be jumping back into Returnal around the same time. He wanted us to talk extensively about Returnal this episode, and we're talking a bit about it, man. But yeah, it is a fantastic game, and man, maybe not praised enough. I don't know if it is or not. I don't know if it has like some sort of devout following or if it's just generally avoided because of the difficulty and people are scared to play it. And like, this is probably as close to a Souls style game that I'll probably ever get. I'm not interested in the Dark Souls, Demon Souls, the fucking Neo game, and whatever the other one was. I'm just not into that. Elden Ring is the one you're playing. I'm not into that. But maybe I am. But I really am a sucker for sci-fi, like outer space shit. Like, I love the alien stuff, and I love the Space Marine shit. So like, this is like, that was enough to get me to take the step, and I do like it, but I don't know that I'll go as far into the roguelikes, those games. But let's get into the news. Jake, can we just jump in? Let's just jump right in.
Dude, I will say,
go ahead.
I'm just forewarning you, the third boss is the one that people fucking hate.
Yeah. And
there are only 5. There's 6 biomes, but there's only 5 bosses. Only one of the biomes doesn't have a boss.
Oh, nice.
Which is kind of weird. But
I'm guessing the third biome doesn't have a boss.
Third biome does. It's the 5th that doesn't.
The last one.
No, there's 6 biomes.
The second to last doesn't have a boss?
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Which is weird. But dude, if you can just get through the third biome, the rest of the game is probably going to be pretty easy for you. That third, like getting through through the first half of the game. And honestly, I love the little story moments, like where you actually go back to the house. Like, have you done any of that stuff?
Yeah, I've gone to the house twice.
You go back to the house?
I've been in the house twice.
So like every time you beat a boss or there's a major event, like that house shows up again and you can go back inside of it and like another thing happens. Yeah. And it's like, it's awesome because it's vague and it's weird and you don't know like what's real and what's happening. Like, it's very cool.
It's a chance to cool down also.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to, I could fucking talk about Returnal is so awesome.
Well,
the fourth boss is my favorite.
The what one?
I'm not going to tell you about him because if you get him, he's so good.
What boss?
The 4th boss.
Yeah. Oh, I'll get to him.
He's just so cool.
It's gonna happen. Just not right this second. So we'll bring the Returnal talk back down the road. Let's get into the news. Every episode we talk about some of the most recent news. What just happened? I lost the tip of my pen somewhere, man. Do I have ink all over my face? Where did it go? The tip of my pen. Oh, it's back. It must have got stuck in the lid, dude. You ever do that where you take a lid off and then the tip of this is like that fine point Sharpie? I was like, dude, is it all over my jeans or something? No, somehow the tip came off. That's weird. Just the tip, man. Every episode we talk about the news. And there's not necessarily all the news points, but it's news points that I thought were relatively interesting enough to talk about on the show. So we're going to dive right into that right now. The first news point is we had a state of play that just came out of nowhere on April 16th, and it was like 20 plus, 30 plus minutes of Final Fantasy XVI 16. And it looks great. Did you watch any of this?
I watched it. Yeah, it looks so good.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know what else to say. It's just this game is awesome. They said like the pre-sales for this just went through the roof.
Yeah, it does. It really does look so good. I mean, I don't know if I can play like Intergrade and Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy 16 like all in the same year, but maybe I can. I don't know. But fucking, it looks so good. I'm excited. I was resistant to the action combat at first.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I'm kind of in now. Like it's probably going to be awesome.
They made a point in this trailer
cool
to say it was not going to be turn-based.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see, man. But for the listeners who didn't know that this happened, it did. It came out. And there's also some Street Fighter shit that they showed. I didn't put any of that in the news, but if you want to watch it, go check it out. It was like a 25 to 30 minute long video, and this game just looks beautiful, and they did a great job presenting it. And I'm all in. I'm all in on this, especially since I'm in on 7 Remake right now. It just makes me want to like dive into more of this kind of shit. Anyways, let's get into the next one. Jake, there are rumors abound. There are rumors abound regarding Persona 3. And how apparently Atlus is working on a remake of this game. Not a remaster, a remake, which means they're going to redo it from the ground up. And it's not 100% confirmed, but it's all but confirmed. Now, here's the thing with me. The listeners may know, you might not know. I have yet to play through any Persona games. Despite the overwhelming adoration that the franchise gets, it's definitely a you call it like a hole in my gaming experience or whatever. There's just, you know, all these games that Fred has played, and then you get to Persona 4, and I started that game, but I made it maybe 2 hours in. And I'm like, this isn't for me, and I didn't play it anymore. But
which one did you start?
Persona 4, I believe, Golden.
It's too bad. I don't think you gave it enough time.
That's what everybody says. I don't know.
Yeah, it sucks when you like. I really hate those times when people are like, "Oh, it gets better after like fucking 40 hours." It's like, okay, like I hate that, but I honestly feel like Persona 4 is one of those games where it's like, just get a few hours into it. Like, wait until you get through like the first full dungeon and all of that, because it does really, the story gets wild. But I'm excited that they're remaking 3, assuming the rumors are true, because I always wanted to play 3, but I have always been turned off by the dungeon, the Tartarus fucking building. And if they remake it and it's more like the dungeons, because that was like the big improvement in Persona 5 was the dungeons. So if they can remake Persona 3 and have the dungeons and the combat be as awesome as it is in Persona 5, I am all about it, because I've heard the story of 3 is fucking awesome, just like it is in 4 and 5. So that's really cool. I'm excited about that for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know if the listeners can convince me to play a Persona game. I might try it. I just don't. I don't know, man. You guys, it's not on you to make me want to play it, but if enough people tell me, I mean, I know that there are people outside of our little circle of listeners that swear up and down Persona 4 and Persona 5 are like the best games of that kind, or whatever that means. But my brothers loves them.
If you were gonna play one, it's probably 5 because you can play it now for free with PS Plus.
Okay.
So, but the only thing that sucks about 5 is that it's like literally 120 hours long.
Dude, I don't have that kind of time.
That's the thing that sucks about it, but it is very good. Like, you get kind of invested in the story and the characters and building the relationships. I mean, maybe you won't. It's not for everyone, but I've played through it twice. And my second playthrough on New Game Plus with all the advantages, it still took me 90 hours.
That's fucking ridiculous, man.
So, and after that, they came out with that Persona 5 Royal Edition that has like the extra content. And I just can't, I want to play it, but I can't bring myself to do it because just to play the extra content, I got to play another fucking 90 hours of this game. And it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, I could probably do it because I love the game, but I asked someone who's a big Persona fan, I was like, is it worth it for me to replay it for this content? He was like, not really. Like, unless you're like adamant on getting the 100% experience.
Right.
But yeah, huge Persona fan, especially from 4 and 5. I think 4 has a way better story than 5, but the dungeons are less fun, and it is on Vita. So, but I guess it is on PS4 now.
This is Jake thinking out loud. Yeah.
I don't know. 4 is a lot shorter though. 4 is like 30 or 40 hours long.
Oh, okay.
So it's not too awful. And the dungeons aren't really bad. I just got tired of the loop.
Well, I know when 4 came out, people couldn't stop talking about it. Like, this is the best game ever.
It's really good, but
not.
Yeah, I don't know. But I will say, I'm really interested. What I've heard of the story of 3 has me super interested because, from what I understand, it's like way sadder, way darker than the other 2 stories. And I'm really interested in it.
Yeah.
I just, whenever I was reading and watching stuff about like the combat system and the dungeon system, I was like, I don't fucking know about this.
Yeah.
I'll wait till they remake it.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they might be. And if they are, I'm all in.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about one more rumor, something we don't normally do on the show. But this is picking up a ton of steam. And apparently Sony is working on a dedicated handheld device specifically to utilize remote play. I mean, we have the backbone in a phone, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, how do you feel about this? Like, I'll tell you how I feel. I just feel like they're doing the PS5, right? They did the DualSense Edge, boom. That's like the super fancy controller. We can't buy the controllers for the VR headset independently yet. They released the VR2. They're also we have the new headset that came with the PS5, right? The whatever it was, they came, the Pulse Edge or whatever it's called. And then they also are reportedly working on a PS5 Slim that's supposed to be, or a PS5 Pro maybe, that's supposed to be coming out in 2024. And now this rumor comes out that they're working on a dedicated handheld for remote play. Let me just say that I don't think many people use remote play on PS5. I just don't know who this is for. Because if you have to be connected to Wi-Fi, you might as well just fucking play on your TV. Like, you're going to take it to work? Like, I don't know. Like, you're going to play it at Subway? You're going to play a PS5 game? I'm sure, like, it'll work okay. Is this just is this to help? My guess is that this is to help push PSPLUS premium subscribers so that they can stream these games a different way. I think it's a bad call. I think what they need to do is take this effort and put it into VR2.
If they can convince me that the streaming is good enough, all I can say is that this thing literally better be less than $100. If it's like $200 or $300, just you might as well just put them all out to pasture because nobody's gonna fucking buy it.
Who's it for?
But
like, who'd want this?
But if it's $100 and it's got a, like maybe like a 5-inch screen on it or a 6-inch screen on it, and because it's built for the PS5, there's super low latency through your network. I could see myself maybe wanting one to like play shit in bed or something. But
here's the thing: you can remote play.
I don't know that it's worth it.
Dude, here's the thing, and I just had this thought: you can remote play and not be at your house. You can use anyone's Wi-Fi, right? As long as the connection's good enough, you can use it. And what you can also do is use your mobile phone as a hotspot. How did I do this? You can use your mobile. What the fuck did I do? I think I took my Vita to work one day to see if it could work on my break or on lunch. And I used my phone, which has unlimited internet access, as a hotspot, and used that connection and connected my Vita to my phone. It was some weird piggyback shit that I did, and ultimately it was just like your connection's not good enough. But I think you probably could figure out a way to do this. But here's the thing. If Sony's making it, we're going to have adaptive triggers on this fucking thing. There's going to be some sort of rumble thing. There's going to be some sort of touch device thing. And then it's going to be like $400 fucking dollars. Like they can't not go all out when they make some shit. So like it's going to be bells and whistles that nobody even wants. And it's going to be $1 million. That's my thought. And you can take it.
Yeah, you're probably right, but I don't know, man. I mean, the remote play in your own house on your own Wi-Fi is pretty good, especially if your PS5 is wired into your network.
Yeah.
And it's not the PS5 itself isn't Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, if this thing isn't cheap as fuck, why would I not just buy a backbone for $80 or $100? Like there's no reason. I literally on every, I know this is maybe controversial. Every single game I play, I turn off adaptive triggers. So it's like that kind of shit I don't care about. The Rumble is a different story. I'd be into the Rumble. But like if I'm playing in bed, I don't really want all that stuff. I just want to like dick around in my game. And usually it's like some game where I'm just poking around. It's not going to be like fucking Destiny or something. So I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see, I suppose.
Time will tell. Time will tell the story of what happens with this and if this is even true, this rumor. But it's got a lot of momentum, this rumor. And I think Gamatu reported on it and some other people. So I mean, I really think it's gonna be a thing. I'm not interested at all unless they can find a way that I can play PlayStation games at work through a shitty cell connection, and they're not going to do that. You know what I mean? It's not impossible. It's not possible. All right, next news point is Media Molecule, the studio behind Little Big Planet, and most recently Dreams, which is such an ambitious project. They've announced they're going to stop updating Dreams. And the company put on their website that effective September 1st, 2023, they're no longer going to be supporting Dreams as a live service title. And this is not to cause any alarm because the game isn't going offline. They're not taking it down. They're just not going to offer in-game events or update the title any longer. It's going to be pretty much just handed over to the creator base and the user base to just run with and stay creative with it however they want. I don't even understand. Part of me feels like I really missed out on Dreams. But then part of me is like, it looks like it's not my thing. Like I had an idea that making like a music video for one of my songs in Dreams would have been fucking awesome. But then I was like, I'm not like a developer. Like I don't know how I could have done that. But like it could have been really cool. Just do it in Dreams and record it and then just fucking put it up on YouTube and be like, here's my new music video made in Dreams, and then get some like fucking momentum that way, which would be kind of interesting. But I just don't know. Again, that it's such a niche like game. But some of the developer made content that they'd released afterwards looked really awesome. looked really cool. And I was like, are we missing out on something with Dreams? I don't know anyone who plays this game that talks about it. There could be like this crazy undertow going on in the community, and it's just like fucking rad. And they're just like, if they don't want to buy the game and play it, fuck them. This is the most amazing shit. Have you even played in Dreams at all? Have you done anything with this game?
No. And honestly, it makes me mad just thinking about this title because they really screwed the pooch here. Media Molecule took so fucking long to make this game. I mean, it took them 10 years to make it, and maybe even longer. And then they like half-ass released it, and they didn't release it with an actual game included. So it was just literally tools,
creator content. Yeah, right. You just
and then
make shit.
You don't have the ability to actually publish the games that you make on there. You can't like sell any content that you make on there. You have to own Dreams to play anything that was made on there. So it's like, who fucking cares? I'll just go like literally download Unity for free on my computer, make a game on that, export it for PlayStation, and fucking sell it on PS5. Why would I even bother with Dreams? Which is like, I got to use a controller to build a video game?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
And you know what you'll name it? Haircut Simulator. It'll just be like a game where you fucking cut hair. Why isn't that a thing? Oh, that'd be so good.
I don't know. I really lament what could have been out of Media Molecule in this time that they have been spending on Dreams.
Yeah.
And to think, this was the studio that gave us Little Big Planet 1 and 2, which are arguably some of the best modern platformers ever made.
Fantastic game.
And,
what about Sackboy Big Adventure? They didn't do that, right?
No, they didn't do that. So they didn't do Little Big Planet 3. They didn't do Little Big Planet Vita. I think Little Big Planet Vita is very good.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah. Little Big Planet 2 though is probably considered to be the best one. And they made that.
Dude, imagine a Little Big Planet in VR.
They could have been that team, but instead they decided to go fucking wave move controllers around for 10 years, and now
Move controller.
Now fucking they had to build another team to do that work. And they did it with Astrobot, which is arguably probably the new mascot.
The best
Sackboy
VR platformer for sure. We better see an Astrobot full fucking game. Sony
why isn't there a PSVR 2 patch for Dreams? Imagine if you could be in VR making these.
I thought you could with VR1. I don't even know. This is how disconnected I am from Dreams, man. It's the messaging, the communication has been so bad about this game. I don't know.
It's really disappointing.
But the sad thing is I think there's something really special about Dreams. I think there's something really brilliant here. And it's just going to be lost to the wind. And
yeah, my understanding is that it's amazing.
Right.
But it's too late. They did it wrong. They released it wrong. Everything surrounding the game, the thing other than the thing itself, is wrong. And so this is how you fuck up the release of a good product. And I don't know. I don't really know what to say. They literally wasted, in my opinion, unless they surprise us with something, they wasted 10 years on this. Which is
Did they make any money?
I think they might have sold I don't know. I'd be shocked.
It was free on the PSN for a while for PlayStation Plus, was it not?
I don't know if it was or not. I know you could buy in early access or whatever, but
it started off like a fucking experiment, this game. And they're like, hey, we're going to do some shit. We don't know what we're doing. We're not doing Little Big Horn. We're going to fucking make this thing. And they release this trailer where it's like, like drum things going and like this fucking band playing, like, and people didn't know what it was. And like, okay. And then it was radio silence for years, I think. And then it's like, oh, this beta thing's out. And it was just like, there's no game. And people were like, what is this? And then slowly people started making stuff. And you would see like people recreating some of the most technical shit in Dreams of other games. And it looks as good, if not better, than the actual game that they were mimicking. And it was like, what the fuck is this thing? And it's like, how is the power here? How are they harnessing all this power? How are they doing this? And then it like would disappear. And then you'd see some really spooky level that someone made in Dreams on like PlayStation website or something. And like, whoa, that's amazing looking. And then like you wouldn't hear anything about Dreams for like another 6 months. And like, what is this thing? And it's just like, I know what it is, but I mean, how many people are making good content for it? And why didn't they wait until they had mini games or levels to just release this thing? I mean, I know it was so experimental that they needed to test the water and see. I mean, when you're making a developer tool, you got to see who can use it. And when you are a developer yourself, I would imagine that you might start thinking, well, this makes sense to us, but does it make sense to like the common layperson, right? Like, are they going to be able to use this and like fucking do what we want them to do? Like, we know how to do stuff with this. That's why you had all these weird demos of people talking about the game and like how they could make shit in real time and they'd show you. And like, I don't know, man. We don't need to keep talking about it, but I truly feel as a creative mind that I have and like the person that I am, that I might have missed something a little bit in Dreams. And I wonder what maybe I could have done or could still do in there with all the assets I'm sure that are available now. Recreate like a scary dream that you had or a nightmare. And I'm using that on the nose on purpose. But like, yeah, a music video would have been cool. I don't know. Something. Could have done something cool in it. I don't know. It is what it is. Let's get to the next news point. This next one is good news, long-awaited news, probably for some. Lord of the Rings Gollum finally has gone gold. The game is apparently available for pre-order at this point, by the time you're listening to this, and it is now going to be releasing a day before my birthday on May 25th, 2023, so next month. And the more I see of this game, the more it looks like this might be the example of like not rushing a game out the door and them taking the proper time with it. Because it looks good. I think this game's going to come out and be good. I don't really understand it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like one of those sleeper games where people are like, oh shit, that game's actually really good. I don't know. Jake?
I hope so. I mean, it doesn't necessarily look like something that I care to play, but I hope it's good because it's such a weird concept. I don't know why you would ever want to play as Gollum, but if, you know, like, how does that gameplay loop work? But, you know, for their sake, I hope it's good. It's good for everybody if you know, a good Lord of the Rings game comes out, because maybe we can get something else good again, you know, like Shadow of Mordor or whatever. Yeah. You know, because we haven't had a good Lord of the Rings game in a while, since Shadow of War probably. And I think even that one was kind of like received in a lackluster way compared to Shadow of Mordor, which was the first one. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I think what they're probably going to do, I mean, one would imagine, and I'm not like well versed in Lord of the Rings lore or anything, or the history of the Tolkien shit and the Silmarillion and all that stuff. I don't know much about it, but I would think that there's a story here, and it's going to be a story-driven game. And I think the story, they could do a lot of things with it, but I would imagine that, you know, just as when Frodo has the ring, or just as when Bilbo has the ring, you know, the Dark Lords want it. And I would imagine that they're coming after Gollum, or they're trying to entice him. They're trying to get him because he has the ring. And he's probably this confused, decrepit creature. You know, the ring turned him into what he is. And I'm guessing that he is a target of Sauron, and they're trying to locate you, or maybe who knows what it is. But I mean, why wouldn't they be trying to get it from Gollum if Gollum had it all those years, right?
I have no idea, my man.
I don't know, man. Maybe
I'm not like a big Tolkien guy, so I have no idea.
It's just I made the listeners know. They can let me know. Anyways, next news point. That's just my brain going again with the lights on. New games coming to PS Plus Extra. So every once in a while, they give us new games. Jake and I, or I think at least I'm an extra member. Jake, are you extra? You are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're both extra members. We're not premium members. And then we are wait, what aren't we? PS Plus
Extra.
Essential is the bottom. Yeah. We're essential and extra. We're not premium. I wish they would just call it 1, 2, and fucking 3, right? Like that would be so much easier. What level are you? 1, 2, or 3? So much easier. But level 2, we're getting new games coming in. The standouts: Doom Eternal, Kena Bridge of Spirits, Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, Slay the Spire, The Evil Within, and more. But as they always do when they give us new titles, they kind of take some older ones on there and they say no longer available. And that's going to include Marvel Spider-Man, Metro Last Light, and 2033 Redux, the game Virginia, Resident Evil, and a couple others that are decent ones are falling off of the extra list. So, and Jake, do you know how this works? If they're available on PS Plus Extra and you download it and then they pull it from Extra, do you still get the content?
No.
So if you're in the middle of playing one of these games and they just pull it off the store, you can't go back in and finish your game?
Yeah, it's just like Game Pass or any other subscription.
That sucks.
I mean, it's just like Netflix. So it does, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that are on Essential, I believe. I mean, don't quote me on this, but the ones that are on Essential, you have access to forever, as long as you have any form of PS Plus.
Right.
But the ones that are on Extra and Premium, those are like subscription games. So if it's pulled from the service, you don't have access to it anymore.
Right. And to be fair, you still have to be an extra member to enjoy those games that you got on PS Plus Extra. It's just they don't ever redact them or pull them back.
Essential, but yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah, level 1.
Yeah.
From this fucking point forward. It's the only way my brain can do it. It's no wonder.
I'm actually really shocked that they keep adding Bethesda games to this. I don't know how that's working because Microsoft owns them now.
Well,
so how do they keep adding games like Wolfenstein and The Evil Within?
I don't know.
It's pretty interesting.
I don't have an answer to that. I do talk about The Evil Within around Halloween if you want to dial back if you're a new listener. I just played that game recently. Next news point is the Suicide Squad got pushed back. We all know it got pushed back. And it got pushed back after the less than receptive state of play they had for the game. And the new release date is now going to be in February of 2024. And the company released a tweet that indicated it was specifically going to be February 2nd, 2024. And I'm going to read the quote that accompanied this communique. And it is, we have made the tough but necessary decision to take the time needed to work on getting the game to be the best quality experience for players. Thank you to our amazing community for the continued support, patience, and understanding. There is much more to share in the months ahead, and we look forward to seeing you in Metropolis next year. Definitely smart move.
Yeah, I mean, that might be enough time for them to kind of roll back some of the decisions they made. But I mean, no matter what, they've got egg on their face here, so we'll just have to wait and see what they come out with.
Egg on the face. Yeah, egg on the face. Next news point, Jake. Let's talk a little bit more about this here. I don't know if you're anything like me, but it's about time PlayStation did something to this. Anytime you would claim a Plus game, like if you're a member of any of their premium services or their subscription services, anytime you claim one of these games and download it for free because you're paying for the subscription, you would receive an email to your email address, and it would be, hey, thank you for your purchase. And like, it seems to have been recently addressed and updated by Sony, so these emails aren't going out now, thank God. And the reason that I say that is that I would like go on these tears and download like the 3 games, and then like, oh, what's on Plus Essential now? What's on the level 2? And I would look, and I'd be, oh shit, that's on there, and I would just download it. I got this new hard drive thing going for me, this new internal SD whatever, and a solid state drive, and I'm like, all right, and then like I won't check my email, and then like the next morning I'll get up and I'll be heading to work, and I'll just open my phone, and it'll be like, you have like 8 new messages from Sony, and it's like, thank you for your purchase, thank you for your purchase, thank you for your purchase. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, someone hacked my account, and they're like using my card or my account to buy tons of shit, And it's like, I never bought these things, but they were sending this, and I would always get nervous that like my account was hacked when I would see like 5, 6, 7 of these messages back to back to back to back to back to back, and almost have a heart attack. And I'm like, did they charge me for this? And they shouldn't have charged me for this because they're using the word purchase. Well, they're not sending these out anymore. Does that ever happen to you? Do you get those emails? Did you?
Yeah, I mean, every time you download something from there, even if it's a PS Plus game that you get for free, it's anytime you download anything from the store, you get one of those emails. So it's kind of cool that they're getting rid of that because it is pretty annoying.
Yeah. I think you still get them when you actually purchase a game outright.
Well, you should.
But these Plus games...
You shouldn't get it for downloading fucking free shit. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's long overdue, man.
I know I downloaded it. You don't have to tell me.
Right. Long overdue. So thank you for the quality of life improvement to the store yet again, Sony. And I can sleep a little easier with the lights on. Let's see here. Next news point is... Last news point. Blizzard had a very successful beta for Diablo 4. We know it was successful because of the trillions of hours, lifetimes that people put into playing this fucking thing. We talked about the stats a couple episodes ago. And Blizzard has now notified the public that they are listening. And they listed a ton of changes that they've made based on listener feedback. And honestly, this is exactly the purpose of what a beta is for. So I'm happy to hear this. Some of the quality of life improvements, Jake, that we talked about on the show are not on the list, but they did update some stuff. And you can go look at the full list down the road. So that's just good news because I know we kind of shat on some of it a little bit. And, I think other people did too.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't expect this game to be the same as the old Diablos. I would just like to see it kind of tightened up for the launch, and if that's what they're doing, then I will still be interested in playing it, even if it isn't exactly what I want out of a Diablo game. I'm always gonna probably want to play it just because I enjoy that gameplay loop.
Touche.
I just am bummed by the fact that it's always online and there's all this other shit going on now, but who knows? Maybe I'll get used to it and I'll end up loving it.
It's
because like
possible.
Destiny is a good example of something of like, I don't know half of what the fuck is going on in Destiny anymore with like all the online shit and all the currencies and all this weird crap that's going on, but I still enjoy playing it. So probably be a similar experience here with Diablo 4, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Well, that's it for the news, guys and girls, ladies and germs. And we're going to move into the new games this week that have been released. And then we're going to tie things off. And it's been a pleasure talking video games and sharing our opinions with everybody who listens to the show. But let's talk about the new games. April 10th, we got Chronicles of Albion, The Magic Convention for PS5. April 11th, Process of Elimination on PS4, Sherlock Holmes, The Awakened, PS5, PS4. I always wanted to enjoy Sherlock Holmes games, and I've yet to play any. They look good, but then I don't ever play them. April 12th, Emergency Crew on PS4, Hyper 5, PS5, PS4, Murderous Muses on PS5, PS4, Spelunking the Mind Match PS5. On April 13th, we have quite a few. This list is longer than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to start going a little faster. Arcade Archives, Dig Dug 2, which would be fucking awesome. If you've never played Dig Dug, go fucking play it. It's like the first SteamWorld Dig, essentially. Cannon Dancer, I talked about this last episode. This is that arcade cabinet that kind of disappeared that was like Strider, also called Osman. Dogfight, Faircroft's Antiques, The Forbidden Crypt, Rubber Duck Wave Racer, Sable's Grimoire, A Dragon's Treasure, Socolor, Tape Unveil the Memories Hi-Fi Edition. And April 14th, 8 Doors, Arum's Afterlife Adventure, alliteration for you. D-Exit, Eternal Matters, Farm Sliders, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, Process of Elimination on PS4, and Ultra Pixel Survive on PS5. That does it for the game list. My 2 standouts, Dig Dug 2 and Cannon Dancer, and maybe Sherlock Holmes. Outside of that, I don't know much about any of the other ones.
Yeah, the only thing on here that I would probably be like even a little bit interested in playing would be maybe the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. But that's just what kind of jumps out to me. But I have heard that, like, even though they're kind of B tier, I have heard that some people really like those Sherlock Holmes games.
Yeah. What's there not to like about Sherlock Holmes? I mean, the characters are just fucking awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
And I love a good murder mystery. And I'll tell you what, I just saw a trailer, and then we'll get to the outro. I just saw a trailer for a new HBO series. It's like an NCIS thing, or I don't know what it was. No, True Detective, I think. And it was set in like Alaska. And it just looked, Jodie Foster's in it. It just looks awesome. And like the snow's blowing. There's a scene where someone just holding up these red flares. And then they're talking about like how they went out to, you know, so-and-so was out like at the last sunset before the dark hits. And they were like, what would cause them to go out and celebrate like that? You know, it's like this murder mystery thing. And it's like fucking Jodie Foster's on the force, and she's like working with a native Alaskan person and who's also on the force, and they're kind of butting heads in the trailer. And just every other scene, there's just like a fucking cruiser like driving through like just a fucking blizzard with the lights, you know, and like just the snow whipping around. And like it'd be crazy to be like a detective in Alaska in like the eternal dark forever, 6 months of darkness. Like it's night all the time. Like you're like on the beat and you're like out there like solving crime all the time. Like it's just always such a cool idea. Anyways, Jake, yeah. I don't know. So Sherlock Holmes murder mystery, awesome. It sounds interesting. Who knows if the game's great? It's probably mid-tier, like you said, but probably still worth playing if you're interested in Sherlock. That's it for the show. This has been episode 272. And I want to thank everybody again personally for listening to our podcast and for being a part of this community. I know that, you know, there hasn't been a whole lot to report on lately, and we have been diligent in trying to get you episodes every week, and we have not broken the streak for a really long time now. Episode 272 in the bag, as they say. And Jake, it's been a pleasure as always to sit and talk video games with you. I can't wait to get back into Final Fantasy VII Remake. I have to find a shower tonight before I do anything else. But yeah, man. I don't really have anything for the listeners except, you know, summer is coming up, and make sure you guys are still getting outside. Get that vitamin D, I believe, from the sun. Get the serotonin levels up. Enjoy the outdoors while you can. But probably wouldn't hurt to get a little gaming in the evening. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We really do appreciate it. Please leave comments if you can, and try to get us in an algorithm that does our show a little bit of justice. And you know, we've been at it a long time, and we do thank you. And if you do want to subscribe to the Patreon, like I've said before, it's we don't expect you to, but it is always appreciated if you do. So that being said, Jake, is there anything you'd like to say before we sign off for the evening?
No, I don't think so. I'm excited for it to get warm. I hate this time of year because we usually have a couple of warm days and then it'll be fucking shitty for a while, and then we'll have a couple of warm days and it'll be shitty for a while, and it's usually not like consistently nice out until towards the end of May. So Sarah and I went on a motorcycle ride on Friday, and I was super excited to be out, and now I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna be able to do that for a while again, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, I haven't been out yet on the bike. My bike is the old Rebel is stuck in the garage until they get all their shit out of there at the bathroom. But I want to get the old the old GoPro charged up, get out on a ride, be really nice. Yeah, maybe I'll go steal the parents' Harley. But not this week coming up. Maybe the following week. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the weather turns out.
Yeah, we might still have a couple weeks before we get another nice week like we just had. All right, well, I guess that's it. That's all she wrote, ladies and germs. So, like Ghostwire Tokyo, Gorn, and Gran Turismo 7. P.S.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
Awesome.